Welcome back. Okay, guys, that's what I said. Welcome back to 25%. I'd rather have 25% of something than 100% of nothing. But I want you guys to know one thing. I've got some cool merch that's out there. Check out the amazing cup. My team and I designed this awesome cup, good quality, good feel. And even if you want to support and get a pen, just to walk around and support me. But I appreciate everything that you guys have purchased thus far. And the website is the word spelled out 20, the number 5%.com spelled out. So 20 spelled out, the number 5% spelled out.com. So click like, click share, tell a friend. I am got this amazing guest on here today. It is about to go down as we are closing out going into the fourth quarter of the year in business. So I want you to introduce yourself to everyone.
My name is Robert Fortune. I guess I consider myself like a financial consultant. I run my company, Fortune Advisory Services. It's a investment advisory firm, but its sole purpose, first off, is to teach the community financial literacy. And then with that, then we learn about where to invest, what stocks, what bonds, what life insurance, things of that nature. But first, we got to know what the money is and how it works before we can do anything else.
Okay, so you, how long has your business been around?
I've been running my own firm for 5 years now.
Wow, congratulations. You know, they say the first 5 years is the hardest.
Well, they say the first 3 years, like most businesses go out of business in the first 3 years. But I've been in finance for now 16 years. So wow. I've really leveraged what I've done in other firms such as JP Morgan or HSBC Securities to do this thing that I'm doing now for myself.
And this thing is helping and educating people on it. So correct. Do you put on seminars?
I do seminars, I do workshops. I actually have a seminar coming up, a free financial literacy seminar coming up at my friend's restaurant, For Purpose. That's going to be on the 21st of September, so next week. There we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about business funding. We're going to talk about investing, earning return on your money. So, you know, if you can come out, if everybody can come on and support that, then that would be great as well.
Okay, so this I think that I can come out. What time is it for?
I believe we're starting it at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, how long does it typically last?
We're going to be doing it, most likely we're going to be talking for maybe between 30 and 45 minutes. But what I like to do in my seminars, I like people to be involved. I like the audience to be involved. Ask me the things that you're worried about. Ask my partners the things you're worried about regarding your business or other financial endeavors, so we can keep the conversation going. That's how you learn.
Okay. And I think that is true because, you know, you're engaging, is keeping your attention. So what are some of the things? Give me a couple of things that you're going to mention at your seminar that may be beneficial to the clients.
Yeah. So I have a partner from Concord Concord Federal Credit Union. She's a mortgage officer and loan officer there. She's going to be talking about business funding. Actually, the other partner I'm going to have there is Darnell Joseph. He's going to be speaking about entrepreneurship, and he's the one who owns that restaurant, For Purpose, like 1489 Fulton Street. And then me, myself, I'm going to talk about earning return on your money. So we're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about protecting your money with life insurance. Those are kind of the topics we're going to touch upon. And then anything else that seems to touch your heart at that time, things that are having you stressed out regarding money, then we're going to touch on those as well.
Okay, can you give any tips for investing for people while you're on any investment tips?
Right now?
Right now.
I would say right now, what people need to worry about is if you're going to be investing, one, never invest more than you're willing to lose. And two, it has to be for long term. You have to look 5 years plus out. Do not use the stock market as a gambling or a get rich quick scheme or a way just to come up, right? Catch a lick. That's not how it works, right? Every investor that's ever going to make money in the stock market, they do it long term. We're talking about 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years, right? You want to invest in companies that you know are going to be here a lot longer than you are.
Okay, question. And I know I see a ton of sneakers behind you. So I need to know, are you into retail as well, or that's just your everyday fashion?
So that's my collection that I've been collecting since I was 17. So I've been a sneakerhead since I've been 17 years old. One story I like to tell all my clients when I meet them is when I was coming up, I was just like you, right? Didn't have a lot. Family didn't know about financial literacy, and I'm Caribbean American, so my family is not going to be buying me $200 sneakers to go to school or play basketball in, right? So those are kind of things that normal people deal with on a regular basis. But as I started earning my own money and able to get my vices out, I was always into sneakers. I'm a big basketball fan. I've been watching basketball since I was 8 years old. So, I've been collecting sneakers since 17. And this is about, this is what my collection is. This is just a portion of it right now behind me because this is where the camera is. But if the camera was able to pan to my right, you'd be able to see a lot more.
So the question is this: buying all those sneakers, you know what I'm about to ask you, right? Is
Yeah.
that a smart investment?
Yes, for me, right? So anytime you're spending money on something, right, you gotta say, what kind of return am I gonna make back on what I'm spending? And
Okay,
for
that's
me,
good.
yeah. So for me, sneakers right now, they're kind of like a appreciating asset, right? If you hold on to them, people are gonna buy them, pay extra money for them.
Certain ones,
Huh?
certain ones. Because I got some sneakers, ain't nobody paying me for them. They paying me to throw
Well,
them away.
yeah, well, it depends on how much you use them, right? But
Yes,
another thing that I like to tell people about my story is because I've been a big sneakerhead, and when I first started investing, one of the first companies I ever bought was Nike. So I've owned Nike stock since I was probably like 25 years old. And that's when I really started first investing. And when I look back on it, I tell people between the money that I purchased sneakers with and the stock that I own, I'm actually an owner of the company. So that's really what stock ownership is really about. You're an
that's
owner
smart.
of the company, right? And they pay me a dividend. So honestly, by the end of the year, they subsidize some of my sneaker purchases through the dividend that I make from the company. And that's kind of how you have to understand stock investing. It's where are you spending your money now? Right? As opposed to saying, oh, I just want to follow the latest trend or I heard about this because somebody else said they bought it. You don't got no skin in the game that way. And when things start to tumble or turn tumultuous right now, like you see in the market today, you want to jump out of it, which is kind of like one of the worst things to do when it comes to stock investing, especially when talking about it should be done long term.
So, what is going on with them NFTs? Do you deal with that too as well? And crypto and Bitcoin, all that. I want educate me on that.
I don't deal with that personally because they're not securities, right? So as a financial advisor, I'm under the thumb of the SEC and FINRA. So those things aren't really considered securities now. I kind of have a little bit of understanding about it, but for me personally, I don't like to give advice on it because I'm not fully vested in those things. But, what I do tell people is if you're looking to be invested in Bitcoin or an NFT or Ethereum or any of those coins, you have to think of it the same way, like I said in the beginning of this conversation. You got to look for it long term. Don't invest in things. Don't take your hard earned money and think you're just going to put it in something and it's going to make you a millionaire. That's not how it usually works. You have to be patient, right? And everything is a matter of time. It matters when you buy it and it matters when you sell it.
Okay, that's a good thing, and that's very helpful, and I appreciate it. And it's very smart. You're purchasing and supporting the business that you own.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
question: how many pair of sneakers do you have so far?
My wife targeted it somewhere north of like 250.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
So, in your business, so is this the only business that you own?
Fortune Advisory is my main business. I have a consulting firm. I call it Fortune Capital Consulting. With that consulting firm, that's where I normally do my seminars, my workshops. I do seminars for families. I do them for individuals. I do them for businesses. But also, I help businesses with business funding. I help businesses with business structuring. But I'm also like how do you call it? I'm like a go to person. I built a network.
You went out. Your volume went out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and
I don't know
clear.
what happened there. But I was saying with my capital consulting firm, I'm kind of like a go-to person for a lot of businesses to say, if you need a CPA, if you need an accountant, if you need a trust and estate attorney, those kind of things, I can connect you to those because I built a robust network over my 16 years in the financial industry.
Wow, 16 years.
Yeah.
You don't look that old, my guy.
Well, I'm 41, so.
Okay, so you're younger than me.
Yeah.
Yes, younger. So what quote that you live by in business?
So one quote I live by is financial literacy is the key to financial freedom. So when
Mhm.
people are talking about financial freedom, we're talking about being liberated from working. Another word people like to use, retirement. I call it liberation, right? To say that I'm no longer going to be dependent on a paycheck from somebody. And that can happen at any time. We normally think of retirement around 65, but you could be done with working and depending on somebody's paycheck at 40, at 35, depending on how you manage your money. And that's financial freedom, where you can take care of your necessity bills and your money grows without you having to actually have to go to work.
So and you can help people do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a time consuming thing. We're always in our community, we're always talking about generational wealth. But we think that we're going to create the generational wealth in one generation, and that's not how it works. Generational wealth takes many generations. So if you look at the other side that had a 400-year head start on us, they didn't make whatever wealth they have today, they didn't create it yesterday. They created it 400 years ago, and they've just been building upon it. And that's the kind of idea you want to say for yourself. If you want to leave something for your children, even if it's 50 grand, that's more than your previous generation left you, right? We normally are left with bills. Even if we leave, even if
Tons
we're
of
left with a
bills.
house, yeah, even if we're left with a house, it has a mortgage on it, it has a reverse mortgage on it, it's been refinanced several times. And then because we don't really understand the value of an asset like real estate, we're going to sell it because we don't want to deal with the headache and then go pay somebody else's rent that helps them own their property on paying their mortgage. So that's kind of how you want to think about it. So when I say it's time consuming, you may not even become a millionaire in your lifetime, and that's okay. What you want to do is you want to structure things so that your son can become a millionaire, or your grandson or your great grandchildren can become millionaires. And that's how we have to think about it. Because if it's going to be a daunting task, if you're now 80 and you're like, oh, I didn't become a millionaire, so now investing and all these things don't work. That's a terrible mindset.
Yes, I get that. So what are the strengths of owning your business? What are your strengths?
Um, Strengths in owning your business in general, or just me personally?
You personally, what are things you see as your strengths with your business?
For me, I have patience, and I can deal with mostly any kind of client. I help people who start from point A, and I have clients who've already achieved certain things in their life, and I'm just coming in to like fine tweak some things. I
Mhm.
think being able to be like a chameleon and be able to speak to anybody and kind of give them an understanding of where they're at and what I'm talking about, I think that's a major strength for me, and it's helped me through these 5 years really develop something and provide knowledge to people that when I look back, I speak to them and they go, I was really helpful to them, or they appreciate the time that they've been with me. I have clients right now with my business that I had since I was working in a bank back in 2006, right?
Oh, you worked in a bank.
Yeah, so I worked at JP Morgan, I've worked at HSBC, so I've been at those banks, but those clients, they could have, went and go find anybody, but they followed me wherever I went. And I think that's a testament to the patience that I have, and to be able to, like I said, be a chameleon when I'm speaking to these people and have them understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. So with your business, can you tell me something unique about your day-to-day with you and your business? Like a story, something unique?
I don't know if I have anything unique. I mean, I really find myself, when I tell people my day to day, it's relatively boring. Like, I'm up and I'm sitting in front of a computer for most of the day, watching the stock market go up and down, things of that nature. But aside from that, I do a lot of networking. So I meet a lot of different people. And I think that's unique, that you're not really going to find in, say, a 9 to 5 job. I meet various people. I've rubbed shoulders with billionaires. I've rubbed shoulders with people and children in schools where I've done workshops for the Department of Education as well.
Okay. And that's good doing shops. So when your next workshop is on the 21st, and how often do you host them?
I I don't do like a workshop every month or like on a schedule like that. If something comes up, or I partner with a different firm that wants to do something like that, or like I said, I'm doing an individual workshop, or I'm doing a family workshop. But aside from that, I have a live that I do on Instagram every month, and that live is I'm actually doing another live on the 22nd on my
Oh.
Instagram. And on that live, I'm going to talk to self-employed people about what they should be looking to do for retirement.
So give us 3 things a self-employed business owner should be doing for retirement.
One, they need to understand what retirement plans are out there for them, right? Whether it's a SEP IRA or simple IRA or 412E planning, you have to understand those things, right? So we don't have to get into those right now, but you have to understand those first and understand what the limits are for you to put that money away. 2, you have to understand what are the dollars that you're putting away today going to create for you later, right? For whatever time you want to retire, 45, 55, 75, whatever. And then the third thing is you need to understand what your exit strategy is for your business, right? Whether you're going to sell it or you're going to pass it down to a family member, or you're going to hire somebody to run the business and you just collect the profits, or your family collect the profits. But you have to understand which one of those things is more feasible for you. And honestly, understand all 3, because your idea might change. You might change, say, I'm going to sell the business, and then it's become a huge conglomerate and you don't want to sell it, you want to leave it in the family, and you just want to hire somebody. So just be up to date with those informations so you can understand what's going on and what your next steps can be.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any questions for me?
No.
Yes, I want you guys to click like, click share, go to the website, get you some cool merch and cool supplies. How can everybody reach you if anybody want to come to you and check out for future events?
So you can reach, my website is fortuneadvisoryllc.com. On there, I have a blog. On there, I also have a press page where you can see I've done other podcasts such as this one, where you can see the other topics that I've talked about. You can find me on Instagram. It's fortune_advisory. And I can give you my direct office number. You can reach me at 347-206-3010. When you're reaching out to me, let me know you heard me on a 25 podcast, and then 25% podcast. And
you know, I was about to correct you, but I didn't want
yeah,
to.
I know. I want to make sure, because I don't want to be in any trouble, right?
I know, and it was gonna be some trouble.
Well, of course,
Yes.
I got to respect the brands.
Yes, you got to. So, question.
Yeah.
Have you taken anyone from with like $1,000 or $2,000 and made them a millionaire? What's the best success story you have with one of your paid clients?
I haven't taken somebody from 1,000 and made them a millionaire, because obviously I haven't been in this long enough, and I told you it's a long-term proposition. So if I said that I did, it would be kind of counterproductive than things I talked about earlier. But I do have success stories. Like, I have a good friend of mine who started saving money for her son late for college. And I kind of put a plan together to say, okay, over these next 3 years, this is what you have to do to put this money aside so that you can be comfortable having the money to pay for his college. So, and by following that plan, she's exceeded the amount that she needs to pay for college. So she's in a comfortable position now where she feels like she can pay for his college. She can do other things for him, buy him a car, set him up to where he can buy his first property when he graduates school. And that's kind of like empowering, to think that you start at one point, you were like, oh, how am I going to do this? I'm so behind. And now you're such in a comfortable position only like 3 years later. People think it takes so much effort. People think it's so hard to do, so that they don't want to do it, or they're afraid to do it. And I let people know it's not difficult. If you have someone like me who can hold your hand, who can ride beside you, you're going to get it done. You just have to be confident in yourself and understand that if you fail to plan, you're going to plan to fail. So just always create that plan, and you just stick to it, and you're going to follow it. Just like a budget, right? Budget is just a plan, but people treat budget like a 4-letter word. They don't, they think that, oh, I'm not going to be able to do anything, and I'm going to have to save all my money and, live on ramen noodles. And that's not what it is. Whatever lifestyle you want to have for yourself, you can create a budget for it. And if you stick to that budget, you're going to actually achieve that lifestyle.
Oh, well, thank you. And great. It's good having you on the show. Thank you for sharing that information. You dropped them Johns. I got the information. I'll try to come out next Wednesday so I can. If you need me to ever speak at one, I'm willing to do so.
Okay, great.
Yes, and give some knowledge on accounting because you got your entrepreneur person already.
Yeah.
So, and how would you? And last question, as I thought about it, how do you get paid from your clients? Is it a cost?
It depends on what the service is. For me, for investment advisory, so if I'm going to manage your investment portfolio, I just charge a all-in wrap fee of 1.5% annually. With that, you get my research, my knowledge. You can contact me as much times as you want. But you get expert advice on how to manage your money, whether it's your IRA, your 401k, or just an individual account. If we're doing life insurance, I actually don't charge my clients to do life insurance plans for them because I've actually brokered with about 90 different insurance carriers and I get paid for them. If we're talking about budgeting services or we're talking about business structuring, all those things have a little bit different costs. So it's not like I can't like create a menu and just tell everybody what it is, but I am upfront with it when we sit down and we discuss what it is. All my consultations first time are free. So I like to just sit down and see if I'm a person who meshes with you. And then if that works, then we can discuss what your goals are. And then once we set your goals, then we can decide what's next. And then I will let you know the cost either through my consulting agreement or my advisory agreement. But you're going to know that beforehand.
All right. Thank you, my guy. Thank you for stopping by. Everyone, click like, click share, and follow. Tell them your Instagram and your contact information one more time.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, fortune_advisory. My personal page is New Money Fortune. You can find my website, fortuneadvisoryllc.com. Go on there, click it, like it, send comments, follow my blog, follow me on Instagram, and reach out to me and just connect. Let's build.
Let's build it. Let's do it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.